Hi friends, once again I am with you in the continuity of the topic calculation of premium of option. It may be call option or put option. Let me remind you, call option gives the buyer of an option right to buy the underlying asset on or before the expiry at the exercise price. Let me once again repeat it. Call option gives the right to buyer of the option to buy the underlying asset at the exercise price on or before the expiry. If it is American option, he can exercise his right on any day up till and including the expiry date. Or if it is European option, he can exercise his option only on the expiry. On the other hand, put option gives him the right to sell the underlying asset on or before the expiry. If it is American option, he can exercise his right before the expiry or up till the end of the expiry. Whereas if it is European option, he can exercise his right to sell the underlying asset at the exercise price only on the expiry date. That is the basic thing, basic fundamental about option. Seller of the option has no rights but all the obligation. Buyer of the option has all the rights without any obligation. It means if price movement is in the favor of buyer of the option, that means to say option is in the money. Buyer of the option will exercise the option and seller of the option will incur a loss by making the payment of payoffs. On the other hand, if price does not move in the favor of buyer of the call option, option will be out of the money. That is called as the status of the option. Buyer of the option will never exercise out of the money option. Let us understand how an option becomes in the money and out of the money. For call option, if spot price exceeds the exercise price, option will be in the money. If it falls below the exercise price, option will be out of the money. And if spot price and exercise price happen to be same, option is at the money. Reverse will happen for the put option. In case of a put option, if exercise price is more and spot price is less, it is in the money. And buyer of the option will exercise the option to have the gain. On the other hand, if exercise price is less and spot price is more, it is out of the money. Buyer of the option will let it expire. He will not exercise. He has the rights without any obligation. Seller of the option cannot force him to exercise the option. And whereas if E and S, exercise price and spot price, remain the same, option is at the money. So he is neutral, whether to exercise or not, it makes no difference. Now, whenever an option is not exercised, buyer of the option has the maximum loss equal to the premium paid by him. Whereas if option is exercised, seller of the option is bound to give the difference. And we have seen in the previous slides, difference is calculated as SU minus E. Cash difference settlement takes place. SU is the spot price on the expiry. That's maximum price I'm talking about. So SU and the difference of E depending upon call and put and call will be paid by the seller of the option to the buyer of the option as cash difference settlement. And if option is not exercised, maximum gain of the seller of the option is equal to the premium received by him. Now let us proceed further. Two methods we have learned till the past session or previous session: option equivalent method and risk neutral method. Now we proceed further with the more sophisticated method applicable across the globe. Black-Scholes model for option price calculation. The model is based on the concept that a risk neutral portfolio can be created with the help of hedge ratio. Hedge ratio, let me again remind you, is the ratio which tells us how the portfolio of the seller of the option to be created. If hedge ratio for a share is 0.6, for a call option is 0.6, it means seller of the option should buy equal to 0.6 proportion of the quantity sold in the call option. For put option, it will be 1 minus hedge ratio of call option. So 1 minus hedge ratio of call option minus 1, it will be negative. So if hedge ratio of call option is 0.6, for put option it will be 0.6 minus 1, that is negative 0.4. That means seller of the put option should undertake short position equal to 0.4 proportion of the quantity sold under the put option. By doing that, he will have the created hedge ratio. Now, this hedge ratio will give him no profit, no loss, and he can earn only equal to the rate of interest applied while calculating the premium in this formula. If price makes a movement according to the estimated range, you will have no extra loss, no loss. If price moves beyond these ranges, then he will have the loss. And for that purpose, or to cover that loss, we go for the dynamic delta hedging, which I have discussed in delta hedging topic. So that is the hedge ratio. So under the Black-Scholes model, in short, I'll be calling it as BSM model. BSM model. The hedge ratio is represented by ND1 in case of a call option, and it is negative in case of put option. That is ND1 minus 1. That will be negative hedge ratio. Now, what is ND1? D1 we will be calculating with the help of a formula, and N stands for area under cumulative normal distribution curve. You know the Z table. So in the Z table, we will locate area under cumulative normal distribution curve equal to D1, or for value D1. The equilibrium theorem implies that the net cash flow should be zero by creating a portfolio containing option as well as borrowing the money to buy the underlying asset. Such portfolio is also called as zero risk portfolio. Now, what are the basic assumptions of BS model? The call option for which value is being calculated is of European style. The price of the underlying share changes continuously with log normal distribution. That is the precondition. And that happens in market also. Prices move continuously. They never go in a halted manner or zigzag manner or rhythmic manner is not there. That they might halt for some time and then they start moving. They might halt for some time. They might start moving. That does not happen. Continuous movement is there. Transaction cost and taxes do not exist, and there is no restriction on short selling. That means anyone can short sell the shares. Funds can be borrowed at risk-free rate of return. This assumption we can do away with subsequently. During the time period to maturity of the call option, dividend is not declared by the company. This assumption can also be liberated subsequently. Now, what are the steps in BS model? Step 1, calculation of D1. D1 is first calculate log normal for the value S0 upon E. S0 is the spot price. E is the exercise price. Then we take the factor R plus 0.5, and you might find somewhere it is written as 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is also 0.5. Multiplied by standard deviation 2. Standard deviation represents the volatility of the returns of the underlying share, or volatility of the price of the underlying share. One and two are the same thing, but more precisely, it is standard deviation of the return of the underlying share representing risk. And T is the time duration in year. By using those factors, we will calculate D1. Second step will be there, calculate D2. So once you have calculated D1, you calculate D2 by applying this formula. And then step 3, estimation of the value of the cumulative normal density function, that is area under normal curve, Z table, from the table showing area under normal curve as used in normal distribution table for values D1 and D2. The values so calculated are referred as ND1 and ND2. If suppose your D1 is say 0.2, so you will locate area under normal curve, cumulative normal curve density function for value 0.2. And if D1 is 0.15, you locate the value under area under normal curve, cumulative normal density function for value 0.15. Fourth step, apply this formula to calculate CO. CO refers here the premium of call option, that is S0 is spot price times ND1 minus E multiplied by E negative RT. This is part of negative RT. So we consider continuous compounding here and multiplied by ND1. So S0 is the spot price of the underlying share. E is the exercise price of the underlying share for option contract. R is the risk-free rate of return. C0 is the premium of call option. T is the time period till expiration in year, 6 months equal to 0.5. Value of E is this 2.71828. The price so calculated is called an equilibrium price, and it is expected to be maintained because of the arbitrage process. Idea is to say if this price does not prevail, it will attract the arbitrage activity. and that arbitrage activity will force the prices to move to the equilibrium. So one can easily interpret that in the long run, this theoretical price or price calculated as per formula is likely to prevail. And once we have calculated price of the put option or value of the put option, we can calculate the price of the put. Once we have calculated the price of call option, by applying the put call parity fundamental, we can calculate the price of put option. Parameters will remain the same, only one word will change. Same option is referred as if it is put option, not the call option. P0 is the premium of put option, C0 premium of call option, S0 spot price, E is the exercise price, R and T, R is the risk-free rate, T is the time duration. Let us see an example. As we have done a similar example, but volatility was different in that case. So spot price of a share of X company is rupees 60 with an exercise price of 60 with time to expiration 6 months, that is 0.5 year. Risk-free rate of return is 12% and standard deviation of return of the share is 30%. In the formula, 30% means 0.30. Calculate price of call option using DS model. So our parameters are S0 is 60, C0 it is E. C0 is not there. It is not C0. It is E. Let me correct it over there. It is E. T is 0.5. Rate of interest 12%. Volatility 30. So let me take you back to the formula which we have. This was the formula for D1. Log normal for S0 upon E and then extended to this one. So let us put the values in this formula. By plugging in the values in the formula, like we get it, D1 will be, so how you have to solve it out? Calculate the log normal for 60 by 60, that is 1. It will be 0. Then solve this part, which I am highlighting with right now. And then answer for D1 is 0.3889. That is 0.389 because area under normal curve, if you locate in the table, it will be for this value. However, if you go for the Microsoft Excel, you can find the area under normal curve there also. Once we have the D1, we can calculate D2. So D2 in this case is 0.177. Then we will read the values for ND1 and ND2. So you can see D1 and D2. D1 refers to hedge ratio. Remind you again. Then ND1, by looking at the relevant table, we find it 0.6517 and ND2 is 0.5714. So these ND1 and ND2 will be used in calculating premium of call option. C0 is equal to 60. Now let me take you back to the C0 formula. What was the C0 formula? There it is. C0 is S0 times ND1 minus E times E, this is exponent function raised to the power of negative RT multiplied by ND2. So now we proceed further. So C0 in this case will happen to be 6.81. That is the premium of call option. You can refer it conveniently how calculation proceeds. You have to solve this equation only. So finally we get it 6.81. Here basically situation comes like this. To maintain the hedge ratio, that is 0.6517. We have to spend equal to spot price. 0.6517 times 60 gets you 39.10. That means 39.10 amount of money is required to create the hedge ratio. Whereas how much you can borrow is the next part. So 32.29. So difference you are likely to claim as premium or you are likely to demand as premium of the call option. That is the derivation of this formula. And then taking the data of previous example, we can calculate the price of put option. And put option, put call parity for fundamental if we use, so we get it C minus S plus E raised to the divided by E negative RT divided by E RT. Here it is there, divided by E negative RT So we get it. P is equal to 3.31. So with the same parameters, if it is a call option, premium is 6.81. If it is a put option, 3.31. So that is the way premium of call option and put option is calculated under Black-Scholes model. Now let us quickly have a look at the one-step binomial model. The same thing can be applied in one-step binomial model. It is nothing but graphic presentation of binomial risk neutral method, which we have discussed in the previous class. Only thing is that I'm showing you the calculation of CU and CD on graph. Let us say spot price is 20, SU might be 24, and exercise price of the option is 22. That is the strike price, you can see. So you will have CU equal to 24 minus 22. And if SD happens to be there, CD will be 0. By taking a risk-free rate of 12% per annum, the price of option with exercise price 22 and the expiration 3 months can be calculated as. We'll be using risk-neutral fundamental. Now here E of R, ER will be 3% because annual is 12% and duration of option is 3 months only. So we get it probability calculation. Probability happens to be 0.575. That means there is a 57.5% chance that payoff will be equal to CU. And 1 minus 57.57 or 0.575, that is 42.5% chance is there. CD will be the payoff. And present value of that is the price of option. So price of option, for this I have taken risk neutral method. Price of call option is 1.1. So that is the way it will be there. So this is how we have shown graphic presentation of binomial model and Black-Scholes model. So that is the way you have to do it. Let me give a quick recap of the steps so that you can have a visualization how we did it. Step 1, you have to calculate D1 and value corresponding to ND1, that is area under cumulative normal curve. For value D1 is called the hedge ratio for creating risk neutral portfolio. So D1, then D2, that was D1. You can see it once again, log normal function for this value S0 upon E, and then R plus half times sigma square, all multiplied by T divided by sigma root RT. We calculate D2. D2 is D1 minus sigma root RT. Step 3rd, locate the value or area under cumulative normal curve. For D1, that will be ND1. For D2, that will be ND2. Then we go further. Price of call option is spot price times ND1 minus E multiplied by exponent function raised to the power of negative RT. Further multiplied by ND2. You get the price of call option. Then by applying the put call parity fundamental, you can get the price of put option. So that is the way. This is the call option premium. You get the put option. I hope you got it. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you. Have a nice time.